when to drone up, when to give pressure to the Protoss.
상대는
The opponent
1900점,
is 1800 to 1900 Protoss.
1900점 사이인데 헬리드 뽕뽑기 이런 거
Protoss around then, it's kind of hard in that MM range to deal with 8 gate all-in from Protoss.
때는
The Protoss around this MMR range,
게 아니라
they never go like macro game 8-3 off of 3 bases,
랑 템플러 다
but normally they get 8 gate all-in with Dragoon and Templar. So it's a really difficult thing to deal with, so I'll be telling you how to deal with strategies like that.
이 그 점수 대기 때문에 상대분한테 뭐 어떻게 해달라 이렇게 안 해도 돼요.
Well, I'm not going to ask what build he'll be doing, so I'm not gonna be
좋아요. 하이브를 예전에
asking that specific strategy, but how to do general concepts of the matchup. And Zero's also saying that it's not really good to go Hive after getting multiple bases against this strat.
했는데 하이브를 가게 되면은
If you go Hive,
쳐요.
you pretty much get contained.
왜냐면 성큰 받고 성큰 럴크 하면서 여기 막 성큰 럴크 하면서 하이브를 가요. 그럼
What I mean is that when you go Sunken Lurker defensive position and go Hive against this kind of strategy, you'll become very contained and you won't be able to break out.
돌려요. 돌리는데 그게 아무리 막 돌리고 해도 토스가 한방병력 단단하게 모아가지고 멀티하고 안 꼬라박고 또 멀티하고 뭐 또 투포지 돌리면서 또 4내까지
In other words, that if you get contained, no matter how much you move your army around, as long as Protoss doesn't shove in all his army and throws away his units, you'll become and it keeps his army in one place. You'll become very contained, and Protoss will just get double forge, get their upgrade, go up to 4 bases, and you're pretty much in a bad position.
돌리고 막 공격까지 가고 그런 식으로
Like you go Reaver and stuff. Even if you go Fast Hive,
센터를 토스가 먹고
the Protoss will be having a map control. And then Protoss will be in a very good position if you go Hive fast against this strategy.
일단은 히드라를
So rather than going Hive, you'd rather go Hydra based army.
모에 히드라 시작이 아니고 걔는 스타팅 먹고 성큰 방어 하면서 하는 거라서 그건 다릅니다.
So the difference between the macro play versus getting like fast 4 bases and then defending that with Sunkens, and this kind of play where you get third at Sunkens and then defend with Sunken Lurkers, and you're able to get some stuff out on the map.
먹었을 때는 그렇게 하면 안 돼요.
But against 2 base 8 gate, you're not supposed to do fast hive lurker strategy due to the risk of getting contained.
스타팅을 먹었을 때는 존버저그식으로 그런 식으로 해도 가능하죠.
Well, you'll be able to squeeze out games if you get the other starting base.
근데 옆구리를 먹으면 멀티가
But if you get your third base as the near base, not the other starting base, you'll have hard time.
밖에 못 먹어요.
So you can only take up to 3 bases in that position because you can only defend with Sunkens and Lurkers up to that position, so you won't be able to break up.
친다니까.
And you're completely contained at that point.
앞마당에 프로브 있으면은
If
드론이 더 나와서
if there is a probe in your natural, take out one more drone to harass, counter the harass.
하다가 그런 식으로 해주시면 되고
Just drive it, chase it away. 2 Zergling, 2 drone.
오버풀 짓고 나서 바로 왔잖아요.
That timing is overpull timing. Just now.
팔 썼지.
So if the probe came by after you did overpull, that means it's pylon scout.
정찰을 안 가셔도 되고.
You don't really need to scout out in that position.
두 번째 나온 걸로 가스 지으시고.
So with the next drone that pops out, you go to get your third, and then your second drone that pops out, you go to get gas, and then 2 Zerglings that you put on. one round of Zergling that you took out, you chase the probe.
저는 최적화가 딱딱 안
That's the optimization of the early game build overpull. With 2 Zerglings, kill the probe.
하지만 혹시나 그것도 모르니까
Well, send one to chase the probe and other one to scout out. You don't know what the opponent's doing.
멀티가 좀 가까워서 돈이 아직 안 되네요.
Oh, my expo was pretty near me, so money's not quite there. Perfect, but it'll do.
기다려
Just wait a bit a little, and then make.
자, 이제 랠리 포인트를 앞마당으로 바꿔주시고.
And change the rally point to the natural.
역시나.
I'm assuming, yeah.
포식더블랙.
So you saw that the Protoss is natural and its Forge Nexus expand.
랠리 포인트를 바꿔주시는데 이쪽에 찍어야 돼요.
So you change your rally point to your natural, but you have to do it towards your minerals. And as Zero is saying right now,
이쪽에 찍으시면은
if you rally to the 4 position,
그 초보분들은 바로바로 못 보시고
for noobs,
여기 미네랄에 붙이잖아요.
if for noobs, you guys won't be able to catch the drones that go out there, and if you drag those drones that are out there to the below position, the minerals.
딱 봐도 여기에 놀다가 드론 붙이는 거랑 여기에 놀다가 드론 붙이는 거랑.
So think about it. Like if the drones are idling because you don't have enough multitasking, and they're idling over near the minerals or in front, which one will be better?
미네랄에 가까운 게 좋겠죠.
It's better to just have your rally near the mineral so that your multitasking won't be as taxed.
이것도 뭐 별 차이 아닌데 이것까지 신경을 써.
It's not much difference, but then it's a little better for you noobs.
선이랑 미네랄 사이 랠리.
Just rally between your hatchery and your minerals. And 16 Overlord.
16 오버로드 해주면서 18까지는 드론.
Up to 18 you'll be droning up.
오버로드 하나를
And then send the Overlord into the base to see if it's Gadar Gate or not. After your Overlord gets out,
바로 사저글링
get 4 more Zerglings,
멀리
and then send those over to the other Expo.
4분에서 4분 10초쯤 나와요. 질러
So the first sell for the Protoss should be coming out around 4:10 to 4:15.
4분 10초?
Maybe 4:10.
코어를 짓고 질럿을 찍으면은 이때쯤 나오니까
That means that if it comes around this time, it means that the opponent made the core, cybernetics core, before Zealot.
꼭 주시를 해주셔야
So you need to watch out for those, take a note,
스파이어 바로
get Spire right away,
오버로드 하나 뽑아주시면 되겠습니다.
and get one more Overlord.
코어가 돌아가네요.
So you see cybernetics core spinning.
오버로드는 그냥 하나 초보분들은 집어 넣으시는 게 좋아요.
For noobs, it's better to just shove in and sacrifice one Overlord inside of opponent base, really.
난 아직도 상대 빌드 보고 잘 못하겠다. 그런 분들은 그냥
Say you're that kind of a new player who don't know how to react to opponent builds correctly, they kind of struggle with that, just sacrifice an Overlord to see what the opponent is doing totally.
넣으세요.
Just shove it in to opponent main.
상대가 좀 낮으시면은 차라리 집어 넣으시고 왜냐면 상대도 오버로드 퍼세어로 잘 못 찾아다니거든요.
I mean, let's be honest, the opponent, if you hide your Overlord that went into the main, well, they won't be able to find your Overlord, you know?
그런 거 숨겨주면은
If you just hide it a little,
못 잡기 때문에
they won't be able to catch it. So just shove it in there. Just sacrifice one. Maybe you won't be able to get it with Corsair.
넣으셔도 돼요. 근데 이렇게 지금 트레이처리 가스를 했잖아요.
Well, I did 2 hatchery gas build, so I like to play safe under these situations.
볼링 가능 이거는 알아서 잘 해주시고
Well, that's Zergling reaction time. You have to make sure that you don't lose those. So monitor them closely.
오해 처리.
So go up to 5 hatchery. Go up to 5 hatchery for now.
히드라덴이랑
And then get Hydra then and Chamber.
근데 지금
But
나오죠.
there's 4 Zealots coming out, right?
볼링을 찍어야 돼요.
Then you have to get Zerglings.
상대가 압박을 잘하는 거예요.
That means that the opponent is pressuring you well. So you don't have no other choice than to make more Zerglings.
한 부대까지만 딱 찍어주고
Just make up to 12 Zerglings, 1 control group.
하면서
Make sure your Zerglings survive.
펼쳤던 거 이렇게 다시 멀티 쪽으로 모아주시고
So all your Overlord that you spread it out, just bring them all back to your natural. Clump them all up.
빵.
Bam.
미리 경로에 가서 어택당 해주시거나 우클릭으로 해주시면은 잘 잡아요.
So with Corsair, the best way to catch it is to go to the path that it's going to go preemptively and then attack A move it or right click it. That's the best way to catch Corsairs.
오해 처리 상태에서 히드라덴
And on 5 hatchery, after your Hydra dance done, get the Hydra speed and get
히드라 공업.
attack upgrade for Hydra, range upgrade.
히드라를
And then pump out some Hydras.
하면 돼요. 오버로드도 안 막히게.
Just make sure you get overlords out so you don't get supply blocked.
붙었죠. 이렇게 하면은
You're getting
스타게이트 가고
you have 1 drone per mineral pet right now, right? And then you also see that the opponent's going Stargate.
를 막을 수 있어요. 뭐 인버런 플롯이나 아니면은 뭐 커세어 다크.
Then you have to take accountability of possibility of there being speed lock timing or Corsair DT timing.
성큰을 안 지어도 이거 다 막을 수가 있어요.
Well, this way you can block everything without getting sunken.
성큰을 지어야 되는 건 어느 상황이냐?
When you have to build sunken is
3게이트 발업질러. 뭐
if it's 3 gate speed lots. So if you see Stargate and all these tech going up, you see the gateway count, you see the zealot count. You don't necessarily have to build sunken, but then only time you have to is 3 gate zealot speed lots and stuff like that.
세게 오는 거 있죠.
When the opponent focuses on getting speed lots, that's when you get sunken.
그런 거는 성큰을 박으셔야 되고 아니면은 안 박으셔도
If not, you don't have to build it sunken. Even without sunken, you'll be able to defend against attacks.
드론 하나씩 미네랄 다
1 drone per mineral patch.
할이네요. 손은
So 9, 7, 8 in this situation.
이렇게 해주시고 저걸링 왔다 갔다 해주시면서 히드라
Just-
바로 눌러주시고
Get Hydra range. Keep moving your Zergling back and forth to pressure your opponent.
이제 압박을 언제 가느냐?
So when do you put pressure on the Protoss?
이제 압박 가는 타이밍이 또 중요하죠.
Your pressure timing is very important since you have gotten a lot of
발업질러
Hydra and you saw that they have speed lots over here.
면은
If it's speed lots,
가야 돼요.
you have to get up to 2 control groups of Hydra before you go out to pressure.
자 여기 앞마당에 10마리 9시에 7마리
So he has 10 Hydras on his natural and 9 Hydras on his third.
그리고 사업이 되고 나가야 됩니다.
And you also have to make sure that your range is done before you go out to pressure.
사업이 안 되면은
Without
싸워요.
range upgrade, your Hydras are pretty bad against speed lot.
오버로드 소급은 됐고
You're done with the Overlord speed upgrade. Thank you for those free damage.
자 이제 슬슬 사업이 되고 히드라가 2부대 정도
Around when your range is about to be finished and you have around 2 control groups of Hydra is when you go out.
일단 나가면 돼요.
Yep, that's the timing you should go out.
중요한 게 뭐냐?
What's the important part over here?
다크랑 커세어 뭐 이런 게 올 거거든요.
There might be times where DT or Corsair come. That's what you need to be watching out for.
막을 수 있을 만큼
You need to get out enough units so you can defend against those kind of pressure. Just enough.
4-5마리 정도?
Maybe 4 to 5 Hydras.
4-5마리 정도 냅두고
So just leave behind 4 to 5 Hydras behind to defend against potential DT, Corsair type of harass.
되는데 이제 4-5마리 정도 있으면은 여기서부터 드론을 찍는 거예요.
So after you have 4 to 5 defensive Hydras flying around, that's when you start to drone up.
그리고 이 히드라는 질럿을 따라다녀도 되고
With these Hydras out on the map, you can chase those speed lots. For me at least, I prefer to chase Hydras.
질럿이 빈집으로 오게 되면은 전 히드라를 더 찍어야 돼요. 근데 그런
The reason is because if those speed lots come back to your base to pressure, you have to get more Hydras. He doesn't like, Zero doesn't like being forced to make more Hydras. He would rather drone up.
드론 찍는 게 좋은데
Making drone is always better.
이게 히드라를 찍으면은
But if you go Hydra, you can't get additional expansions. So just chase around those zealots.
이제 드론을 한 부대씩
Make drone 1 control group at a time.
붙여주시면 되고
Just put them in the minerals.
여기 드론 살려주면서
Just
먹으면은
make sure these drones survive. And if those drones get out alive and you're able to clean up these zealots, you pretty much profit all the way. You pretty much got rid of 1,000 minerals for the Protoss. While you traded nothing. Oh wow, he survived those zealots pretty well.
와, 움직임 좋았다.
Wow, his movements are pretty good.
로켓 처리 늘리고
Get additional hatchery.
다시 압박 갑시다.
Go out to pressure.
딜럿을 먹어주면 좋은데 못 먹어주면 어쩔 수가 없죠.
Well, it's good to eat up those trade into those zealots, but you couldn't.
가스를 지어주면서
So there's that. You can't do much about it. But then get lurker upgrade, get third gas.
원래 럴컵 찍고 3가스를 지어야 되는데
Normally you get lurker upgrade and then third gas.
상대의 찌르기가 너무 좋았네요.
But then right now the opponent's timing attack pressured me quite a bit. It was pretty good, so I wasn't able to time that correctly. You're supposed to normally get lurker, then third gas right after one another.
얘들아 적당히
Just
가지고 템플러가 있으면은 한 6마리 정도 6마리 정도로 뭐야 벌써 6마리
so with these hydras, try not to overextend. But if you see any templars, just try to take up to 6 hydras and try to snipe them.
정도로 템플러 1.4를 해주시면 되는데
But
상대가 멀티가 있기 때문에
since opponent has a fast third,
3멀티를 지러 할게요.
I'm going to go make my 4th hatchery.
럴프가 나왔죠. 트리플이
So you have lurkers, right? And you saw the third base.
이렇게 빠르다는 거는 드라군이
So when you see this fast of a third base, it means
있다는 거예요.
his dragoons will be late.
히드라 럴프 가면은
So what does that mean? If you go in with Hydra Lurker,
못 막아요.
he will not be able to defend because he doesn't have any dragoons because his third is so fast.
럴프 더 뽑아가지고 가도록 하겠습니다.
Just make more lurkers and then shove in.
진짜 못 막아요.
He won't be able to defend against this really.
하나씩 하나씩
Put lurker one at a time here.
해주고 멀티 해주고
Get expo.
채웠죠?
So
히드라
you
찍어주고
get +2 attack upgrade.
럴프를 박아놨으니까 히드라 소수만 가가지고 템플러 1.4 초도
So what you need to do in this situation, since you already have a position held with your lurkers, all you need to do is go forward with tiny bit of hydras and snipe those templars.
초도
See? Pop.
죽었죠?
They both died, right? Easy.
그러다가 이제 여기서부터는
From here,
해주면서
you need to get ready for shuttles coming in.
랠리 포인트를 다 토스 앞마당 쪽에 여기 넓은 쪽에 찍어주시고
Put all your rally points towards the Protoss natural, towards that wide space over there, not the narrow place.
여기서부터는
From here,
히드라를 섞어서 찍어주시면 돼요.
you should get you should produce Zergling and Hydras mixed in.
이게 멀티를 빨리 먹은 대가예요, 대가.
This is the price of Protoss taking way too fast of a expo.
이렇게 돼.
They're not able to deal with this kind of stuff.
템밖에 없으니까.
They only have Zealot Templar with no dragoons, so they can't deal with this at all.
히드라 럴커 가면은 무조건 이득입니다. 무조건.
If you go with Hydra Lurker like this, it's all you can always trade so favorably.
적당히 이득 봤으니까
Since you have gotten enough of a good trade,
빼도록 할게요.
just pull back.
끝낼 수 있으면 좋아요, 여러분들.
Well, it's good to end it if you can,
이거 일부러 안 끝내는 거니까
but I'm just not ending it on purpose here so I can show you guys.
보시는 분들은 끝낼 수 있으시면은 끝내시고.
For you guys, just end it if you can. It's good to end the game when you can.
됩니다.
Now you can just contain the opponent with Lurker.
조이기. 상대가 좁은 데에서 내 유닛을 때릴 수 있게.
So how you contain is that you have to contain in a way that your opponent can only hit your unit's back in a very choke point spot.
뭔 말인지 아시죠?
You know what I'm talking about, right?
근데 상대는 좁게.
I'm on a wider position, but then opponent is in a enclosed position, in a funneled spots. That's how you're supposed to do it.
11시 멀티 완성됐으니까 드론 한번 쭉 찍을게요.
Since 11 o'clock expo is done, just drone up fully.
9시에서만 찍고 이제
Just make drones from the 9 o'clock position.
스컬지도 소수 좀 찍어주시고
Get some scourge. It's time for you to get some more scourges.
오늘은 펼치시면 되겠습니다.
with Overlord, you can just spread them out on the map. Since all the Corsairs died,
편하네요.
you have a pretty good position here.
그리고 조심해야 될 게
What you need to watch out for
쪽으로 돌아오는 병력.
is the army that will be going around to the 6 o'clock to go around your contain.
이거를 잘 봐주셔야 돼요.
You need to look out for that with your Overlord.
쯤 있으면은 보이겠죠.
Around here will be a very good spot to monitor the Protoss army movements.
이제 가스 되는 대로 럴커.
Get as much lurker as your gas allows.
아이고야 여기까지 왔네.
Oh wow, my drones came all the way here.
저글링 반반.
Get half Hydra, half Zerglin,
그리고
like this.
럴커를 때리러 오면은 그때 히드라 저글링 그때 어택당 해주시고 스컬지 한 2마리 정도 어택당 해주시면 됩니다.
So you can only attack move in when the Protoss comes in to attack your lurker position, and then while you're doing that, you attack move with your Scourge. I'm assuming for observers.
커세를 죽여주고요.
Kill that Corsair right there.
조심해야 될 거.
What you need to watch out here is shuttle.
1번 셔틀 그리고 2번 6시로 돌아오는 거.
So there's two things you need to watch out here. First, shuttle. Second, army that will be going around to the 6 o'clock base to backstab.
하이브 안 가셔도 됩니다.
You don't need to go hive at all.
안 가셔도 되니까 이렇게 쪼였으면은 하이브를 안 가셔도 돼요.
Under the situation where the opponent's contained, there's no need for you to attack the hive. Yeah, just look out for those shuttles.
조심. 어쩐지 커세어가 이렇게 막 때리는 게 심상치 않다.
Yeah, it was a bit suspicious that the Corsair was going around hitting those overlords, but hey, look, it was a shuttle.
여기 확실히 한 2개 정도 더 늘리죠.
Get 2 more hatcheries on your
건강한데
expo.
그냥 생산하기 쉽게 여기에 지으셔도 됩니다.
Yeah, you can just put it on the expo position so it's easier to produce.
한 번은 뭐 하나에서만 업그레이드 하셔도 되고 아니면
Yeah, for the chambers, you can upgrade off of just 1 evo chamber or 2.
하셔도 되고
It doesn't matter.
하나만 해도 큰 지장 없어요.
It's okay, even if you just upgrade off of 1. If you once you saturate your force like that, get gas.
토스는 지옥이죠?
Hey, it's just pure hell for the Protoss, right? They can't get out. There's additional lurkers. You can get more lurkers in the towards the back area.
땡큐.
Hey, thanks for wasting the storm, right?
오잖아요.
Hey, he's coming in, right?
택상 해주고
Just attack move everything with your Scourge.
옥저버도 자연스럽게 죽고
Observer dies easily, and Protoss dies too. There is nothing Protoss can do here.
가지고
Just contain him like that.
발 하나 올리고 너무 쉽구만.
Yeah, you can put your foot on your table and then play like that. It's easy.
쉬워. 조이면 끝나네.
If you contain the Protoss, it's over.
천천히 그냥
Just play it out slowly.
럴커 한 부대 빡.
Get 1 control lurkers. You can do anything.
치면은 토스는 스톰스랴 드라군으로 럴커 때리랴 질러 뒤에 막 대기 타고 있고 옥저버 살리려고 막 아둥바둥하고 있고.
When you do it like this, what Protoss has to do is like they have to like focus fire lurkers, dragoons, storm the lurkers, while the zealots they have to control the zealots so that like they stay back, and then they have to make sure the observer survives in the midst of all that.
견제해보려고 그러는데 시야 다 잡혀있고.
But then he has no other ways to contest you because you have complete vision of what the Protoss is doing with your overlords. You can see if there's shuttle harass or backstab anything.
쫄게 해주시면은 토스 입장에서
So that's why
편하게
on the Protoss, in Protoss point of view, it's pure hell if you are in this contained situation. It's really hard to break out.
이기실 수 있습니다.
That's the end of the noob guide against Protoss.